Hey everybody, it's Gaelan Trombley. Welcome to How's the Market. So what we're doing is February to March of 2021 versus 2022. So the end of February to the end of March. I like to do 3 months. It kind of gives us a little better picture. Now, some of these are going to be a little off because of last year with COVID. We had some, the new listings were down and things like that. And so you're going to see the listings are up. But a lot of it was we weren't listing property in April and May last year because that was kind of the the quarantine time. So just keep that grain of salt on some of these numbers, but we're still going to see consistent trends here. So number one, the new listings is up 20%. So there's actually 37 more listings during that time than there were. But again, take April, May of last year, we didn't have really any listings. So that's up 20%. The average closings are up 32%. Now, one thing to think about, COVID really didn't hurt the closings. We were still closing properties. Attorneys never took it off, banks weren't off, so we still could close most of the properties in that time. So that number's not as skewed as the new listings. So the count, we went from 105 to 155, so closings are up 32% from a year ago. Average price point's up 21%, almost 22%, and the median sold price is up 8.7%. The average days on the market of those closed sales are down 11. Again, maybe a little bit of COVID, but we really weren't seeing many delays due to COVID last year. So those numbers to me are more spot on. And the amount of pending listings, this is again a little bit of a reflection of COVID because the homes were going pending during that time, is up 36%. So the new listings being up 20, the pendings being up 36, I think are skewed right now. We're going to start seeing that probably for the next couple months. It's not going to be until probably June, July, August that we see more true numbers. So I actually am curious to see that in a couple months. But major thing is the amount of closed sales being up 32%, the average price point being up, days on the market being down. Still a seller's market. I think even if we have more listings, we're starting to see this trend a little bit. We're starting to have slightly more listings than we did last year. Very slight, not much. But when the pending and the sold are at a higher rate than the average coming on the market, it's like both are rising, but one's rising like this and one's rising like this. So we're starting to see more of that gap in between. So really, if you kind of put that all into perspective, again, definitely a seller's market. I do not see, I've been saying this for 2 years. I don't know if we're coming out of this anytime soon. I see no horizon or no time ending in the horizon that we could pinpoint and say, yes, we're going to be out of the seller's market back to a buyer's market. And I use this analogy a couple times to people in the last few days. If you take let's say a range or a continuum. So on this side we have buyers, on this side we have sellers. A really, really, really good spot to be is not 50-50. Typically it slightly favors the seller, not by much, maybe 5-10 percentage points, but you want to have some kind of equilibrium in the market, slightly favoring the seller. I think right now we're about 20% sellers, 80% buyers, and there's too much of a gap there. It's not a good gap. It's not, if you're a seller trying to sell your property, absolutely. But at the end of if we're dealing with the entire real estate industry as a whole, it's too out of whack right now, and hopefully we see it come back to center or closer to center. Again, I don't see that happening anytime soon. New construction is not happening at the clip it needs to. We're not getting, home subdivisions and areas being built up with homes for sale. So until we see that, I don't think it's, and again, I don't see that happening for a couple years. The other thing is, which is a good thing, we don't want people to move away, but we're seeing, our population continues to increase slightly. And that, again, every time someone comes and homes aren't being built, they have to find homes somewhere, and that's just sucking up the inventory. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. Gaelan Trombley, Kavanaugh Realty. And I think I usually always end this with the interest rates are still pretty low. So if you are a buyer and you do find a home, it is still a good time to buy a home. The appreciation, I think, is still going to continue to climb, but we need to get back to center. So I guess at the end of the day, seller's market, we need it back to center. And again, buyer, please be patient. Seller, hey, get it while it's good, and your house prices are extremely high. So that's it. Again, Gaelan Trombley, Kavanaugh Realty. I will see you all next month.